Hello. So I had a request to make homemade macaroni and cheese. So that's what we're going to do today. This is just a recipe I found online. Actually, I think I saw it on a cooking show. It looked good, so I printed it out and I've been using it for a while. It's one I like. So I've already cooked my macaroni noodles, boiled the water, and then cooked them for as long as the package said, and I've got them drained. So now I need to make the sauce. I have my recipe over here. These are all the ingredients, and I'll tell you what they are as we go. So I need 6 tablespoons of butter. And remember, we've talked about this on the package. It's marked by tablespoons. So there's actually 6 here. So I'm going to just drop that in the pot. And I'm going to turn the heat on medium. It's the pan I use to cook my noodles, so it is still a little bit hot. And this is milk that I have that I heated because you need warm milk for this. So while this melts, I'll turn it up a little bit more. I want to have this melted first. And then, I'm sorry, I'm reading the directions here. Okay, I've made it a lot, but I just want to make sure since I'm doing this officially for you guys, I want to make sure I have it right. I'll just kind of move this around, let it melt. This is again something I don't want to be like, oh, let me go, watch a show and leave this here. Butter can burn. Of course, it feels like it's taking longer than it usually does because I'm recording it and I'd like it to go faster. Once this melts, I'm going to add a half a cup of flour to it, which I have right here. And then I'm going to keep stirring it. That's really important. Once I mix that in, it's going to make a paste, kind of. That's actually called a roux, not Winnie the Pooh's friend, the baby kangaroo, which is a sauce made with butter, flour, and milk. So I'm going to keep stirring this until it melts down. I don't want to add it until it's all completely melted. Let's see. I don't want to move my phone too close to a hot stove. See if that helps you see what we got going on. I had heated up my milk because the recipe wanted warm milk. You didn't want to put cold milk in it. So I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of starting to sizzle for the part where it was all melted already. So now it is melted, and that's why I'm using a whisk. So I'm going to pour this in. And right away, I'm going to start stirring it. This also can burn. You don't want that to happen. I want to mix all of it together. I don't want any lumps of flour, just like when you bake, or any leftover butter even. I'm going to cook it for a little bit. It says cook, stirring for 1 minute. Once it makes a paste, it's kind of doesn't necessarily stir real well. That's my oven, it's preheated. Remember, you preheat the oven, you turn it on ahead of time, so when you put the stuff in, it can start cooking right away. It doesn't have to wait. And actually, I have something else that needs to go in. Same temperature, so I'm going to put that in right now. Okay. So now I'm going to pour my milk in, and I'm right-handed, so let me see this will be better so you can see it. As I pour it in, hear that sizzle? I'm going to be stirring at the same time. And once I get it all in, I'll be able to stir better. because I'm right-handed. Okay, so as this cooks, it's real important that I keep stirring, because like right now, I don't know if you can see it as I stir, but like there's just lumps of buttery flour in here. But as it cooks, it's going to thicken up and make a sauce. That's what a roux is. Especially anywhere where I see a lump, I want to kind of concentrate in that area, mix it up so break the lump up. And it says bring to a boil, and it even says in the directions the sauce will thicken as it heats up. And I can see already in here, it's getting thicker. I can also see the lumps that I haven't gotten yet. So I'm gonna keep hitting it with this whisk. Be careful when this stuff starts to boil because it's a sauce, it's kind of thicker. It tends to splatter or splash, and it will probably get you. Like if you've ever heated up spaghetti sauce on the stove, I don't know if this happens for other people, but it always happens to me. It boils and it spits out sauce, and you get it on my arm, it hurts. So it is starting to boil. You see some of the bubbles in it, and I'm going to use this spoon. See how it is actually thicker than that milk that was put in there. My spoon rest. Okay. And now I'm going to add dry mustard, nutmeg, cayenne, salt, pepper, hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and then 3 cups of cheese. So the first thing I need to do is 1 teaspoon of mustard. And this is not the mustard you would put on your sandwich. This is dried mustard. It really does not taste the same. Cayenne, now that stuff is hot, so if you are not a spicy person, you might want to not use it, or maybe use less. It was a 1/4 teaspoon. And then also nutmeg, and that's also 1/4 teaspoon. It said freshly grated, but I'm not that fancy. So a dash of salt and a dash of pepper. So there we go, that's a dash. It asks for freshly ground pepper, so I have this pepper grinder, or I just kind of pinch it, and I don't know if you can see. You can't see, it's all steamy now. There's little peppercorns in here, which are little pieces of the pepper spice before it's ground up. I'm going to stir it, get that spice mixed in right away, because that stuff is powdery. It won't mix as well. Turn this down a little bit. It's starting to smell really good. And then it said a dash of Worcestershire sauce, which, there you go, we call that a dash. And then a dash of hot sauce. And again, you know, you don't like spicy, don't use the hot sauce. If you really like spicy, add more. I don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to mix my cheese into it. And that cheese is going to melt once it starts to mix in with that roux, because you can see it's boiling, right? Dump all that in there. And this is a cheese blend of cheddar and mozzarella style shreds. Keep stirring until I don't see my shreds anymore. They're still in there a little bit. If you remember, I don't eat dairy, so this is a dairy-free cheese. It does not melt as fast as regular cheeses. All my stuff out of the way. You don't even want to see that side of the cabinet. It's very messy over there. So I have my pan that I'm gonna cook it in right over here. And sorry. I sprayed it with some nonstick spray, and I'm going to dump my noodles in here. Just kind of, some of them are sticking together because when I boiled them, I drained them, and I didn't stir them then, which I should have. Okay, so I will take this off. Now, here's the hard part. This is really heavy. This is like an iron pot, so it's heavy. So, and it's hot too. It gets hot. This one gets hot. I'm going to use my pot holders, and I'm going to pour it over, and I'll mix it once we get going. So, whew, steamy. What's this called again? Rubber scraper, if you remembered. Bonus points for you. I know at least one of you knows that one by heart. This is incredibly heavy to hold with one hand. I'm just trying to get all the cheese sauce out, because who in their right mind would waste cheese sauce, right? Putting some on the stove. Okay, that'll be fun to clean later. Okay, I'm just going to mix it in. Sure it gets everywhere. Now, this recipe actually has you put crunched up potato chips on top, and bacon too. If you have those things, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I have some croutons that I bought the other day, and they were delicious, and I kept eating them. So I'm like, I need to get rid of these croutons because I'm going to keep eating them by the handful. That's not good. So what I did, these are the croutons I have. They're so good. I just pounded on this, crunch them up, and I'm going to use this as the breadcrumb topping. A lot of times, mac and cheese will have breadcrumb topping. So these are really kind of breadcrumbs. They're pieces of bread that I make crumbs out of. This is going to be so good because, like I said, spread it out. These croutons were ridiculously good. So, all right, I've got that. I'm going to stick it in the oven. I preheated my oven. I turned it on for, make sure my burners are off, 350 degrees. And it's going to cook for 35 minutes. So I'll set my timer. And actually, let me move this up for you so you can see me. I want to zoom it too. Sorry, ignore the big knuckle there. Because I want you to see what else is in the oven. I know you're going to get really excited when you see this. Your favorite food. Can you see what I got in there? Broccoli. I'm roasting broccoli, which is a great way to cook broccoli. It tastes so good. I like to do that because then you can have broccoli with your mac and cheese. And you can call it mac and trees, which is kind of fun. So I'm just going to stick this in here. Pot holders again, it's hot. I'm going to timer 35, start. Okay, and I'll take a picture of it when it's finished so you can see. Talk to you later.